Hi, everybody. How are you? It is 6:29, and I am so grateful that you have joined us for this next installment of the Resilience Project. If you are unfamiliar with me, my name is Penda James, and I'm a scribe coach. What I do is I assist people to get unstuck, execute their goals, and inscribe their legacy. And right now, in this season of my life, I am on a journey towards remembering resilience. So I'm talking to people that I care about. I am not interviewing them. We are having live conversations. The conversations that we're having in private are now moved to the public because I want to introduce my friends to my friends so that we can all do great work in the kingdom. And it is important that when you leave this conversation tonight, that you are inspired, that you remember your tools, and most definitely that you'll remember that you have something that you need to do. Tonight, I am talking to one of my dearest sister friends. And I could tell you stories of some of the things that we have experienced together at Wilberforce University. You know, we lived together in the last 3 or 4 months of school trying to finish our papers, and it was really hard. Dr. Situ, I don't know where you are right now, but she really that class was so hard. And I just remember like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. You and Monica, we went to Kinko's and bound our papers. Like that was like the most freeing moment of my life. So Tamika is a spiritual accountability partner. She sings into our soul and really, really encourages us. As I say us because there's a group of us, Black Women United, who come from all over. And we started that group along with Monica Badgett. And it really was a time where it taught me how to harness my gifts as a woman of God. And so I could really attribute that to sitting under Tamika, because I'm the baby of the 3 of us. She is a mom, she's a wife, you know, she's just got so much in her. And I want to share that with you all tonight. So if you're watching, share this post, tag somebody you love who you think might not be trying anymore, and give them the encouragement that this woman of God is going to give all of us on tonight. So, sis, yes. Is there something that I did not share that you want us to know about you?
No, you gave me a little bit more than what I think I'm accredited for. I will say my premise for my being, especially at this part of my life, is that I am really moving forward to pull people into their purpose from my past. So anybody who knows me, anybody that wants to get to know me, one thing that if you mention my name, just say that I am transparent for authenticity, for success. That's it, spiritual growth. So everything about just know that if you connect with me, if you talk to me or listen to me, I am trying to pull you forward, never trying to take you back, and never trying to cause you to stumble. Let's rise together. Your success is my success.
So I know that you don't do this, and I know that you don't, you know, you sing and you minister and you do all these things publicly, but you don't really put yourself out there to have conversations. So thank you so much for having this conversation with me. And I'll tell you what prompted it was you having a conversation about trying to encourage people that they cannot stop trying. Can you please define for us what it means to stop trying?
My definition of stop trying, when you stop being resilient, when you stop believing in yourself, when you stop understanding your purpose, when you start to blame yourself, or you start to look at your circumstances or your situations or even your decisions that you have made, and then you stop moving. When you stop moving, that's when you stop trying. And so God is not giving us a spirit of fear. He has told us that he has already sent his son to give us everything that we need as the perfect example to move forward. Prosperity is ours. So for me, when you stop trying, you stop living in your divine purpose. You can keep on going to work. You can keep on going to school. You can be a wife and do this as whatever. But there is something that's innately has been deposited within each of us that causes us, or that should propel us for something other than what we see. It's a gifting, it's a calling, it's a pulling. And so when you stop trying, you stop living in the next level of success and you settle for where you are. And for me, I've learned at this stage in my life, Penda, God has not designed me for mediocre. You know, I have been put in a place, and I definitely understand this more today than I did yesterday. Despite my decisions, despite my downfalls, despite me as a person, he continues to move me up. And so I have to press forward in my life, in my situation, in my circumstances, because you never know what's going to happen on the other side. So if I can define it, is when you stop breathing the breath of life that has been given to you. And that doesn't mean death, right? That just means you stop living in the purpose, the dreams, the goals that you have set, and you just settle for where you are. Don't stop trying to move forward.
Has there ever been a time in your life where you felt like you stopped trying, like in ministry or at work or?
Girl, Penda. So I was a single mother in college.
Yes.
I was pulled right out the church choir. I saw your post with Minister Tracy. I ain't gonna go there. I could have stopped. You know, everybody turned their back on me and in the church, my friends, because of course my parents are PKs, and I got pregnant by probably the person they didn't want me to be in, but I finished my education. I kept moving.
And you're a cancer survivor.
Absolutely. I mean, I've been sick. I've had cancer, diagnosed with cancer. I have to have blood transfusions right now every 6 weeks, every 8 weeks or something, because I don't produce enough iron. It would be easy to go and say, you know what, somebody put me on disability because I get tired very easily. But that's not the purpose. That wasn't designed, because I got people that are depending and looking on me. So I keep moving. So yeah, I could have stopped then. As being the only African-American hired into a Fortune 500 company, being made the executive assistants to all these white males when I initially just got out of college, and having racial things come at you. Yeah, you could have stopped with, you know, and went to something that was a little bit easier, but you kept moving. You kept going on. And let me say this, there are situations that will happen in your life that will cause you to pause, because you're not necessarily getting what you think that you should receive. However, there are people, I believe in winning souls. So there are individuals, your children, your family, whomever, people at your job that are looking at your example to give them inspiration. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, being a single mother in college, I had so many very prominent women, Black African-American women now, who are doing phenomenal things that had babies with me. You know what I'm saying? So if I had to lay down what would have happened at that time, if I had given in to my own fears and my own issues, what would have happened to the people that God had placed me to be an example for? So I had to keep moving. And it's a struggle. It's not easy, but you keep doing it because you want better for yourself. If you believe, Penda, I totally believe that faith moves everything. It may not redefine it. It may not change the circumstances, but it will move it one way or the other. So if I can put that faith in myself and move as the vehicle, things have to happen. They just have to happen. And then you take that as experiences and move on for either greater or you maintain.
So we talked a little bit about how trying has been a thread throughout your life. Is there something else that you want to say about that?
Yeah. I will say for me, the importance of resilience, just standing on the things that you know as women, as mothers, as young women, as entrepreneurs, educators, Stand on what it is that you have been taught that has brought you to today. When I say that God has not designed us for failure, he did not purpose our existence just to lay down and die. He didn't purpose our existence just to follow. When he brought us into his kingdom, I believe this, when he brought us into his kingdom, there was a destiny that was set there. And so I hold on to that to allow me to endure all of the heartaches that I've went through. And I think we all have probably went through that. I have only one daughter. I'm love her to death. That's my baby. However, you know what I'm saying? She's a grown woman now. So there may not be that mother-daughter bond that everybody thinks that you should have, but you keep holding on to them. You keep believing, you keep moving. I'm married. And I think I've shared with you, I know I've shared it with some of our other friends, that this has been like trying, you know, being married ain't no joke when you strong willed person, right? So you got to try to make that compromise, right, in the relationship. But God is blessed because I refuse to be defeated in anything that God has given me. And so financial issues, you know, I filed bankruptcy. I was homeless for a minute. You know, just so many different things that I can say that because I kept moving through my faith, that God has now elevated me and my family, my immediate family, to a place where I can now be a blessing to somebody else.
Can you give us some tools to stand on our faith? One of the things that you said really resonated with me, and that was go back to what you were taught that got you to where you are today. That is the whole reason why the Resilience Project exists, because I forgot. I forgot, you know, who I was. I forgot that my mom and dad gave me a name with power, and that declaration every time I speak. I forgot that there's power in my womb. Like,
come on, Penda, yes.
All these people around me saying all this negative stuff and, you know, killing me with their words because they don't like me. They don't like my husband, don't like my daughter. They don't like all these things about me. I forgot. And so I had to go back. I had to come back to coming back to me and coming back to people who love me to remind me, girl, you got this.
You got this.
So give us some tools. Like, they don't want to hear from me. They want to hear from you. Give us some tools to stand on to go back to our faith.
Listen, Penda, we could tag team this right now. So let me, you know, together. When I talk about going back to the things that you know, how many situations, how many experiences have we went through in our life where we made it over? Mm-hmm. Like, just think about that. How many breakups, lost jobs, missed opportunities have you been through that you made it over and you still survived? You still stood, you're still standing. And so if I can encourage somebody with some tools, I want to tell you right now, don't forget how you came over. Don't forget those 4 years at Wilberforce University where you were going through relationships, trying to pledge, trying to make your grades, financial aid, didn't have no ramen noodles, all these things. You was hungry. You couldn't get on Wilbur because you didn't have no money. Right? But you still made it. You still survived that. Go back and celebrate that success. Celebrate what you've come through. That's the first tool. You may not even understand it, but I want you to go back to yesterday and look at all the accomplishments that you have made. Celebrate that today. Once you can celebrate yesterday to today, then you begin to elevate to the next level of success. That next level is remembering how you got there. Remembering I pressed, remembering I stayed up late nights, remembering that I sacrificed, remembering that I had to pour into me, remembering who your circle was around you that encouraged you. Remember that, learn from that, and then you write that down and you make that a staple for today. That's going to be your second tool. The third thing, I think if I could give anybody a tool, once you go back, remember how you got over. How did you get it? That's number two. The third thing is I want you to look at you. I want you to look at the resilience that you had in you as a person. That mama wasn't there, daddy wasn't there, sister wasn't there. right? You could call on people at 12 o'clock, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning because you're crying. You don't know what everybody talking about me. Don't nobody want to hang out with me, all this other stuff. But baby, one thing that you do have, you had you. I want you to remember you in the season and in the moment, and understand that the design that God has made me, what I went through yesterday, what I learned, we're not doing no woe is me. However, what I'm going to do, I'm going to celebrate me today, because I could have lost it yesterday. I could have gave up yesterday. That story could have been totally different yesterday, but today I am here. Remember where you came from, celebrate how you got there, and then rejoice in yourself because God gave you the strength to make it to where you are today. I think those are, and it's so simplistic. God help me to really understand. It's so simplistic that sometimes I think we miss it. Sometimes I think that we beat ourselves up because I made the wrong decision. I made the wrong choice. I should have did this and I should have did that. But I'm saying whatever you did, you still here right now. So celebrate that and learn from it, and now cultivate into something greater.
So imagine us at 19 and 20 years old sitting,
we'd be millionaires.
It's like this is iron sharpening iron for real. This is like, as we say in Black Women United, let me pour this on you, sis. And so I needed to bring this to the public because this is a real conversation. I'm gonna give you this. We talked about it as we were prepping. So remember when we went to Worcester to see Miss O?
Yeah.
I'm asleep in the back seat. Monica sleep in the front seat. You driving. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. We decide we're going to go to Worcester, which is in the country. Now, Wilberforce is in the country. Worcester's in the country. It's 2.5 hours away. Yeah. We driving. It's quiet. I'm asleep, probably snoring in the back seat. Mika's like, girl, y'all going to sleep. I got it. She love to drive. All of a sudden, I hear this crazy music out loud. I'm like, turn the music down. I'm trying to sleep. You told me to go to sleep. She's like, shh. She turns the music down and just starts praying. And me and Monica sit up straight. She's like, y'all just pray right now. Just pray right now. Pray right now. And we just like, okay, Lord. All of a sudden it's cars on this side, cars on this side, people behind us blinking their light. We being chased by the KKK. In real life. This is way back in
1993,
1992, because we graduated. Well, maybe it was 91 because she left Worcester before. She left Wilberforce before. But I think about that in this moment, that something in you woke up in that moment.
Oh my God.
Something in you when you were driving us, we were oblivious to what was going on. And you knew that as the driver, you had to remain calm, and you had to take control of the situation in the spirit. That's the kind of stuff that you taught me. I will not stop trying. I will, because you could have pulled over like, okay, no, you.
But you know what? But you know what, Pen? I think that when I say don't stop trying, I think that's what happens. The more that you move, when you said that kind of stuck out with me, it does wake something up in you. You know what I'm saying? When you continue to keep trying, and I look at failure as not as, a failure. I look at it as an opportunity to make it better the next time. When you have been doing things and going through things in your life and trying to get to a certain place, and let's just say it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
When you keep moving, and it's so, you may give that example, the fact that, like you said, you put your foot on the pedal, you keep driving on, and you call on the one that you know that can keep and save you. We got there, and we got there safely. And that's what happens when you keep moving. And, something had happened, and being very transparent, I got some things that are going on. But I do know that the more that I input into others and the more that I keep going, God has everything under control. So just getting a whole lot of calls from folk, just folk like, Minister T this and Sister T this, my family calls me Miko this, and whatever. And it just hit me, this is not the season to do the woe is me. It's not the season to do the woe is me. You know what I mean? Everybody has a story. Everybody has an experience that has defined who they are.
Yes.
And hold on to that. But while you're holding on to that, I want to encourage your listeners, throw away the woe is me.
Mm-hmm.
Dry your eyes, baby. If you say that you are a believer, and if you say that you love yourself, or you love whatever it is that you're trying to move through, I want to encourage your leaders to say, your listeners, get up, move, don't stand still. The Bible says that faith without works is dead. And it says that faith is the substance of things that are hoped for and the evidence of things that are not seen. So get your substance together. I think one of your guests had said there was a difference between dreams and goals.
Yes.
Get your journal out. Get your pad, get your sticky notes. God, these are my dreams. Okay, in order to get to my dreams, let me outline these goals right now. And you keep moving on. You set your pay. You ain't got the job that you want. That's okay. You be the best at whatever you're doing. If you go work at McDonald's, you be the best fryer shaker that there is. Get your overtime so you can fund your dream to buy a franchise. This is not the season to just kind of lay still. God has given, I believe in, with my faith walk, it's a season of self-reflection. It's a season of redefining who you want to be. Yes. So that when this pandemic ends, baby, you come out and you come out fighting. You come out swinging. You come out inspired. You come out to say that no weapon that has come against me will take me out. Why? Because the one who was sent to save me did save me. So here I am. Y'all take me or leave me. But what y'all not going to do is y'all going to make me lay down and feel bad about where I am. You ain't got to smile at me. You don't have to talk to me. But one thing I do know, I love you with the Christ that is within me. And so when I rise, I love you enough in spite of how you done treated me, done me, talked to me, didn't give me the promotion, that when I make it, you know what? I got a little something for you. Come on, talk to me because we gonna rise together.
So I need you to look into the camera and talk to somebody who has stopped trying. And I need you to tell you were right. You said, speak to your leaders. I'm called to leaders. Okay. Everybody that I work with is a leader in something in their life. So I need you to look that leader in the eye and tell them to get up.
So if I could do that to leaders and just to individuals, and you're right, let me talk to leaders. Let me talk to those of us who have come to be an example. Let me tell you this. As a leader or a proclaimed leader, we're watching you. We're watching you because we need you. And when we don't see any activity that's going on in your life as an example, we lose hope. We lose faith. Because if you're not trying, I ain't got no reason to try at all. If you're not inspired, then what am I inspired for? And let me tell you this, let me speak to leaders and I manage a sales team. So let me speak to leaders. If you have no joy, no inspiration, no life, and no enjoyment for where God has you today. Now understand this, when you stepped into the role, you took on the role. That means everything that's attached with it. And so I want to encourage leaders that if this is what you believe, that this is what you have been called and pulled to do, I'm going to tell you to do it with joy. Do it with love. That your tears is going to bring gold. That your pain is going to bring love. And you have 1,000 souls, 1,000 eyes that have been looking at you. Why? Because even out of that 1,000 is one person that says, Penda, because of you, I'm going to stand. Because of you, I'm going to stand. So leaders, understand that it is not just a title. It's not just a position. It's not just something that you do so you can put on your resume. It's because God has called you enough and you accepted that mantle to be an example. Why? Because there are folk looking at you for something better. So help them to get better. And if you decide in your walk, and understand me, I'm going to be very transparent. I'm going to set myself down over the years. If you feel that you can't do that, You go and find your covering, you get some counsel and say, you know what? I need to be helped right now. Let me move myself back. Because you never want to be a hindrance to anybody else. And if I could talk to just the lay folk, those of us who just trying to make it, let me tell y'all this. If you got faith in God, and if you have belief in yourself, now you ain't got faith, I ain't got faith in me because I be doing some jacked up stuff. But I do know that God got me. If you have faith in God and you believe that he is the healer, he is the mover, the shaker, he is the beginning and the end, he will make you the head and not the tail. If you believe that he will give you the desires of your heart, if you believe that he reigns on the just as well as the unjust, if you believe that he went to the cross and he died for you, if you believe that he has called you for something greater, let me encourage you this, just believe that. Believe that. Seek strength, and everything else that you do, I promise you, it'll align up. It will align.
So thank you for pouring the oil on us tonight. Did you check your notes? Did you say everything that the Lord put in your heart?
Yeah, I only had 5. I think I talked too much, but I only had 5 books. I get excited about that, girl. We done been through a whole lot.
Yeah. And I don't think that we give ourselves credit for the things that we've overcome.
Absolutely.
If I made it through that, like you made it through the loss of your dad and the loss of your brother and the loss of, me and my dad, like we the cancer, like all these things that we made it over. And then when we hit something, we like, I don't know how I'm gonna get through this.
Listen, go back to that. Remember, baby. Oh. Trust me, child. Remember. And I'm gonna go. I know we in final time, but I told some of the young ladies that I was talking to, I told them, I said, I need y'all to go back to that first experience that y'all had when y'all were filled with the Holy Spirit. The first time you felt God on, how you that first time you be happy, you excited. I want you to hone into that and hold it for 7 days and watch God do something new to your mindset. Because if he could save you, he could keep you. And that's the only thing that you need to rejoice about. And you're right. I'm sorry. I talk. I'm a PK.
I know you gotta go to Bible study. I think the thing that I want our listeners to get is that one way to remember is to talk to people who care about you.
Yes.
And so when I talk to you today, I thought about things that we overcame, which were bad even before we got to 2020, when 2020 was bad, So I just thank God that, for you being in my life. And I thank you for sharing your wisdom. I hope that our listeners, y'all get your journals and go back and listen to this. Share this with someone who needs a push, a leader who is stagnant, who needs to get unstuck. Send it to them, tag them, share them. Let Tamika know what you think, because this was powerful tonight. Thank y'all so much. I love you for joining.
I love you too.
Appreciate you. Have an awesome, awesome evening.